Hey, what's up guys? Rampedi here. It's another week and we are back. Transfers. And Pitso Mosimane is in the country. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Let's kick things off with Pitso Mosimane. He's in the country after winning the first division with Al Ahly Saudi club. He was on radio. He said quite a lot of things. He spoke about being open to coming back to South Africa. He loves projects, waking the sleeping giant. And when he was speaking on radio, I couldn't help feel that he's talking to one club. He's talking to one club. That club happens to be Kaizer Chiefs. It was almost as if like he was saying to Chiefs, come and get me if you guys are serious. When a coach like that is available, you have to take it. Because let's be honest, this guy is like the Lionel Messi of football within South Africa. And when Messi is crying out for you, especially when you've gone 8 years without winning anything, offer him something. That's what I'm talking about. And I have to say, if Kaizer Chiefs do not make an offer for Pitso Mosimane, I think it's going to say a lot about the ambition. It really is. It's really going to say, where does this club really want to go? Do they want to win it bad enough? I question the fact that, does this management want to win it bad enough, or do they just want to be on media and radio and talk about it instead of actually doing it as well? Some will say he's expensive. Blah. Excuses. This man went months without getting paid at this club in Saudi. He didn't get paid for months. But you know what I love about him? He didn't say anything at all. He carried on about his business. You telling me the most supported club in South Africa cannot offer him something? No, I'm not going to believe you. Nakahana, I do not believe that. I think Kaizer Chiefs can put something forward. And the truth is that Kaizer Chiefs, you know as well as I do, you just need to win once. You need to win once. One trophy, that's all you need. Eventually, your marketing will go up. The sponsorships will go up. The stadiums are going to be full again. You're the most supported club. And I have to also say, at least make the offer. At least. If Kaizer Chiefs come out and say, listen, we tried to get Messi, but Messi didn't want to, then I understand that. But when Pitso Mosimane goes on radio and speaks about the fact that not even a move was made to him, I tell you something, man, if Chiefs do not do it, I am seriously going to question the ambition of this club. Another guest. Yeah. One of the best award-winning journalists in South Africa, Lorenz Kohler. I asked him everything. Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, Mendieta, some of your favorites. Lodge, Pitso Mosimane as well. What does he think? I want you to pause right now. Pause. Go get your popcorn. Go get your drink. Come back and sit down. Because he dropped gems. So we have another guest on Playing the Field with Shakes. Big guest, someone that I highly respect, an avid reader and as well as an award-winning journalist. Lorenz, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me. It's long overdue. We had a bit of a mix-up previously, but yeah, I'm still showing to engage with your audience as well.
Awesome, man. Really do appreciate it, man. There's one thing you have to teach me before I do start. How does one say your surname?
If you want to say it right, it's Kohler, but I say Kohler because it's much easier for everyone else. It's like that little umlaut with a Gutze instead of Gotze. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's a small difference, but I just go for Kohler for everyone.
No, man, that's brilliant. Listen, I also want to just start off by just saying that I've invited him because he covers everything on Africa. Everything, African continent. This is the man. I highly respect him. First question that I have for you, man, is how did you find the DStv Premiership for yourself this season?
For me, it was... I'm going to have a different opinion because of where I am in my career and the landscape that I'm in. This was my first ever full season covering the league in South African football. It was an okay season for me. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. And I was kind of not excited, but I was heartened by the increase in fans. Because remember when we opened up the stadiums to fans, it was like really bad, like the attendance figures. But to see the away games from the big three, more especially Pirates and Chiefs, it was really heartening, seeing PE packed, Polokwane packed, wherever they were going across the country. Maybe not their home games, exception in maybe Sundowns. But yeah, I think my highlight of the season would have definitely been Sundowns against Pirates at Orlando Stadium. It was up there with the best atmospheres I've ever experienced in my entire life. So I enjoyed it.
But now it's another season where Sundowns runs away with it. They run away with it, and they run away with almost 6-7 games to go. As a journalist from yourself, covering a league where you look over in the Premier League, Arsenal and City are like fighting over it. In Germany, you've got the big two that are fighting over it, Dortmund and Bayern as well. It goes all the way, but here it's another season where it's ended early. How do you feel about that?
Look, it was still exciting. Not gonna lie to you. From 2 till 16, it was very close. So in that regard, there was a lot of excitement still. But we can't say Sundowns didn't deserve it. I mean, in some points, like I think this even ties into the coach of the season debate. At some point, Rulani Moegoe was playing a second or sometimes even a third team and still either coming away with a draw or win.
Yeah.
So I think Hugo Broos also spoke about it. It's like this can't be happening, where a team is so good, so levels above the rest. And the scary part is Sundowns isn't even like, they're not even at their full capacity yet. That's the scary part. But it should be a wake-up call to the others. And we've been saying this for how many seasons. But for Sundowns to win 6 in a row, that's a bit ridiculous. And it does dampen the product a little bit, especially when they're not winning by 2 points or on the final day or 3 points. 7 to go is crazy, and I'm sure you addressed it previously.
It's funny you say that, because you just actually mentioned in terms of obviously them winning, and I love the fact that you touch on the fact that they play really well. I also appreciate Sundowns for the way that they play, the philosophy that they have. But I also just can't help feel that other teams are sleeping, and you're saying they should be able to catch a wake-up call. I mean, do you feel next season is the one? Because I'm glad Jose won his double. I'm so glad that he won his double, and I'm glad that he's building something, because I think Orlando Pirates would be able to push. It's just, do you have an answer maybe for why do you think other teams are sleeping within the league, or at least I don't think they're doing the best that they could do?
I think Sundowns, they know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. Like from the first game of the season, right? You saw that a new system, completely new system, playing a diamond in midfield, 2 up top, and we were like, this is different. And they stick through it the entire season. They even had a coaching reshuffle because they said it wasn't convincing performances, but they stuck to that same thing, same team. So look, I think Jose has the potential to compete for the title next season, but it all depends on what they do. He's admitted he's not in full control of the transfer system. He can give advice, they have a committee, they agree on things, but they need to bring in players that improves the squad. And he needs to identify areas of the squad where he was lacking, and they need to fix it. You know what I mean? Because that's what Sundowns are doing, season in, season out. They say, okay, we need cover for Shalulile. We're going to bring in that. We need a better goalkeeper that can play this possession-based system. We're going to bring in Ronwen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they've been doing that well, where the others, not so much.
Now, Sundowns, of course, they're leading, they're the blueprint, that's fine. Orlando Pirates look like they're building something, that's cool. And then there's the third big one, Kaizer Chiefs. Pitso Mosimane is in the country. He was on radio, and he spoke about the fact that he'd be open to coming back to South Africa. When he speaks about he's open to projects, Kaizer Chiefs as a project. And I'm asking myself, Lorenz, that would Kaizer Chiefs be missing out on an opportunity if they didn't make him an offer?
Yes, I think so. There's no secret that they're looking at CVs after what happened last season.
Yeah.
And they probably looked at it that like nothing is really, standing out. Like to say, okay, this guy, if you get him, he's going to change the status quo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're speaking about Pitso, I mean, it's a bit different. It's a proven winner. And I'm sure he would love to coach Chiefs because it's the biggest, most supported team in the country. And
Yeah.
you will earn legendary status if you get success at Chiefs. But at the same time, it's like where would they get that money from to just fork out what he was earning in Egypt or the Gulf? No, not just him and his whole technical team, Musi, KB, Lal, Mahir. And what does that happen? What happens to the current technical staff of Chiefs, which they've been building? It's almost an admission of failure to say, oh, we're going to get rid of this entire staff we've backed, we've spent money on for coaching badges, we've set up this new structure for this revival for this season. So it's a twofold thing. You kind of, as Chiefs, you want to maybe back them for another season to say, we gave you guys a chance. We invested in you guys. So, yeah, it probably would be a chance missed.
I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of obviously they have to give their current technical team a chance and everything. I mean, people don't know this. Maybe people who just started watching football now is that there was a time where a season would just never go without Chiefs winning anything. It was either that
for sure.
the MTN8, it was the Nedbank Cup, it was the actual league. They were just always so competitive in a sense of having to win something. And that's why they were so long the most decorated club within South African football for a long time. So if Lorenz, for example, is winning something, journalist of the year, he wrote a nice column of the year. It could be something different in particular years. You go a long time. Once you go 8 years without winning that award or winning anything within your sphere, does Lorenz not maybe look back and say, okay, in the 9th year, maybe we do need to pay up to get back to, maybe I do need that fancy laptop. Maybe I do need that fancy MacBook. Maybe I do need to be able to compete with everybody else. So, I mean, do you think Chiefs, I mean, it's going to cost, don't get me wrong. But I mean, is this not the time because we're reaching a decade?
It probably is, honestly. Because success brings a lot more things to the club. It brings more marketing potential. It brings more, seats in the stadiums. Brings more desire to buy regalia. It brings success is just, it's contagious and the fans are happy and things like that. When Hunt and Baxter were both appointed, we all looked at each other and we were like, this is it. They're going to go back to their winning ways. And I'm not trying to compare him to Pitso or anything, but I'm just saying that could be one of the maybe thought processes behind not bringing him in. Maybe acknowledging that they don't have the playing personnel or technical squad in place yet to bring in a coach of Pitso's magnitude. Maybe they need to go the Rivero route. Get some unknown guy who's showing good potential, who's thoroughly not profiled, as they say, to come in at a much lower salary that they can afford. Because you must understand, Pitso and other foreign coaches are earning US dollars. And look at the foreign exchange rate between rand and US dollars. That even plays a factor. But for me, what is clear is that I don't think the season went the way they planned at all.
No, and I agree with you on that one. And I think maybe the most painful feeling is just knowing that Chiefs need to win just one thing. That's it. And eventually, like the marketing is gonna boom, the stadiums are gonna pack out even more. It's just gonna be a tenfold thing where it'll fall over. But it's transfer window time, and written a couple of names here. I want to play this game with you. So I'm going to mention the name. You tell me, is he staying or is he going in terms of what you think? The first one, big name that's been happening, Junior Mendieta of Stellenbosch. Staying or going?
He's going for sure. I'm surprised they even kept hold of him this season. I know it was either January or actually in the off season where Pirates actually had the option to have you know what a first refusal is.
Yeah.
Stallies wanted Collins, Mahaka.
Yeah.
And they were actually in talks, like give us Collins for a nominal fee and you can have first refusal on Junior, so that at the end of the season, if Chiefs and Pirates come for him, you guys can have him. And then the deal happened from whose side, but it just fell through. So he's definitely leaving. And as we've read in SABC, Mazola said that Sundowns is off him because he's got this 10 million release clause. So there's nothing Stallies can do about it. It's all about who gives him a juicy offer and sells him on their vision and project. And that's probably Sundowns.
I just saw reports recently that Surprise Orlando is going to be leaving. So even that space is sort of opened up for a player to come in. Njabuleng Moegoe, staying, going.
But I just had to say, it's not just at Alani. There's a lot of exits coming at Sundowns. There's a lot. But anyway, Nobo, it's not looking good for him. He's got 1 year left. He's fallen out of favor. I just don't think the technical team think he was tactically good enough to play in the system. I don't know what it is, actually.
Yeah.
This is kind of just a whisper. I don't know if there was anything off the field. It's a mystery because he was a defender of the season, and I saw Swallows chairman saying something about pressure. When he was
Lorenz, I don't know about you, but for me, Njabuleng Moegoe, for me, that's a coaching problem. I don't think that's a bad play. I think it's a coaching problem.
Look, Brakis said he found him on the streets of Utongati at the age of 25.
Yeah.
Found him. Now look, there could be a tactical issue, but if Brakis got the best out of him, that is, you could be spot on. But yeah, look, Msimango, Tiklokwe, Winika, Ngezana, Dove, there's youngsters, Aiden McCarthy, Dabo Mokwena coming through. It's game over, bro. You move on.
So you're saying going for that name, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And Temigosi Lodge, Orlando Pirates, have been reports, Sundowns, maybe not. Does he stay at Orlando Pirates? Does he leave?
I think he stays. But there's been so much like secrecy around it. Like, when does this guy's contract expire? When did he sign a contract? Did he sign a lifetime contract with Pirates when he joined? Like, there's never. And whenever you ask questions, whenever you inquire, you just hit dead walls, and you're just like, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think, he's probably gonna stay. They love him there. He loves the club. And I think the only way he would probably leave is if he got a very, 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 very lucrative move to go overseas. We'll never know. But I honestly think if I was a betting man, if I was putting the stakes on Betway, I would say stay.
Well, I'll tell Betway to put the odds there. That's for sure. This player, I think, has a big decision to make. Grant Moegoe. He's a Sundowns player. He's probably going to go back. Do you think he stays at Sundowns? Does he go back on loan to SuperSport? Or does he join SuperSport on permanent? Or do you think he leaves in general?
Honestly, that is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look objectively at what's happening at Sundowns, Tebogo Mokoena, Neo Maema, Marcelo Allende, and Themba Zwane is your starting four. Right?
And Mbule is just underneath. Mbule is just underneath.
Nkulisi, Mbule.
I'm saying Mbule. Mbule is underneath.
Yeah, I know. Mbule and Nkulisi.
Yeah.
Emergence of Mabena. There's a couple of other midfielders as well. Mm-hmm. So realistically speaking, Grant is a backup to Allende, but Sundowns do want him. They do rate him.
These names, I want to get to them very quickly. Caleb, Kaizer Chiefs, staying, going? What do you think?
Nah, he's going for sure, but it's just willing buyer, you know what I'm talking about, willing
Yeah.
sell, whatever.
Last name, this one already has been announced. He left Mamelodi Sundowns under Jali. Experienced midfielder. I think it's quite sad how they ended at Sundowns, to be fair. But where do you think he goes, man? Like, where would you think is the best club for Jali at this current moment? I think there was hints that it could be Cape Town, hints that it could be Chiefs. What do you think is the best club for him?
Look, I'm going back to the Teko Modise thing where, you know, he was reaching the latter end of his career and he did well at Cape Town City. So Cape Town City or Stellenbosch, like in my opinion, would be like great for him because he can lead that team. He can be a automatic starter. Um, he can be that, you know, that general that Teko was when he went to Cape Town City. And they even won a trophy when he was there. But I was speaking to somebody very close to him, and they said, "No, AJ is bigger than that, and he's got another big season in him or two." And I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that meant like Chiefs, Pirates, or even maybe another giant on the continent.
Lorenz, thank you so much, man. You've been a great guest. You've given me so much content. Where do people find you, man? I mean, I know I watch your Twitter all the time, but like, where do people find you?
Yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's most of them. My handle is Lorenz_KO. I even have TikTok. I'm sticking with the times now. So yeah, it's all the same _Lorenz_KO. So yeah, thank you for inviting me. It was great to chat to you, and hopefully it's not the last time.
No, 100%. It will not be. I highly respect this, man. I must highlight this again. Dude, I only wish you to keep going, keep continuing what you're doing. You know, like it's really inspirational for me. You're really one of the best journalists in the country, man. And just keep going with that, man.
Thank you very much, man. I'm enjoying the ride so far, and hopefully it's to much bigger heights. So thank you for inviting me, and I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Awesome, man. Star of the Week and Moegoe of the Week. There's a new segment to the show. We highlight who's been the star of the week and as well as who's been the Moegoe of the week. I'm going to remix it a little bit. I'm going to go for the season. Who's been the star and who's been the Moegoe? So for the star, I could have said Kaizer Mayo, you know, Golden Boot winner, Rolando Mokwena, his run that he's had. Jose Rivero wins the double. Jima, he's been so good at the back for Sekhukhune. Brendan Truth as well being the coach. But nah, I'm scratching them all out. No, Miami, come. One of the most consistent performers this season for me. You know, and if you are someone who looks at just stats, I don't want to talk to you about him. It's what you do with the ball and you just watch him. It's the eyes for me. It's the eye test. And for me, he's been my star of the season. And even if Hugo Bruce does not look at him, you know, goes over him, he just continues these performances. Don't worry, man. That Bafana call-up is coming soon. The Moegoe. Is it Atazwane? Is it Chipampengesi? Is it Marumo Gallants? There's a lot of people I could have picked. But I've gone for Kaizer Chiefs defender Zita Kwinika. I mean, he was so bad. He was so bad, making so many schoolboy errors. And I could not believe what I was seeing. And even there was a point where Atazwane kept on playing him because you could see Atazwane loved this player, but he just kept on making mistake after mistake after mistake. And he's a former Kaizer Chiefs development product. It was almost like he gets the memo. Nah, I get it. It's the badge. I was here before. But he comes in and he makes so many mistakes. And I'm even going to say I think he was the worst defender for Kaizer Chiefs this season. You know what's funny? You're the reason why Given Msimango is coming to Kaizer Chiefs next season. You're the reason why. Because your defensive errors were out of this world. And that is my Moegoe of the season. It's time for our weekly bet of the week. The purpose of this segment is to show you my bet slip in hopes that it helps yours light and green. The more accurate, the more cash you get. Let's get into it. European Cup finals this week, the Conference League and as well as the UEFA Champions League. 2 games, Fiorentina going up against West Ham United. I've gone with either Fiorentina to win or West Ham to win and over 2.5 goals. Manchester City against Inter, I think Man City complete the treble. I think they win, and I think they win with over 2.5 goals. You will not believe this. Just 2 games on my bet slip and 3.93 the odds. That's almost 4 times my money. The maximum I could get from my bet slip is 2,000 Rand. If you want to win with me, hit the link below. That is Bet of the Week, sponsored by Betway. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. Until the next one, all the best. We've come to the end of the show. Just one thing. Did you guys see that South African football history documentary that's coming out soon? I got one question. Are we not tired of talking about the past all the time? For you that's watching, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.